our live.
I love it, the millions.
Let the millions roll in. Let everybody roll in. Tonight we're going to be discussing Tyler Perry's new documentary, Maxine's Baby. I don't know if y'all have seen it or not, but I thought it was pretty interesting. So, as you come in, you can mute it. You can, be on silent. You can turn your camera off. But we'll be on and we'll just just be discussing it. Please feel free to join the chat, ask some questions. Either I'll catch it or Kiana will catch it. Let me put up my notes.
All right. It's exciting. Tyler Perry, he be doing his thing. He always doing his big one.
Exactly. So I didn't know that he was originally from New Orleans. Did you know that?
No, I did not. I don't know. I knew he was I knew he was Southern, but I did not know that he was from New Orleans.
Okay. Yes, he's from New Orleans. I think he was originally from somewhere in Louisiana, but when he was really young, they moved to New Orleans.
Okay. Yeah, I did not know that.
So yes, he was staying in New Orleans, grew up in New Orleans. He is the only boy and he has two sisters. So the documentary opens with his cousin Lucky, and you can tell from the get go he's from New Orleans. Got that New Orleans twang,
Yeah.
And he's narrating the docuseries. So he starts off at his studio, his big grand studio, and the person behind the camera asks him, like, did you imagine this when you were little? And he was like, not right now. Don't do that right now. Like, you trying to make me get into my feelings and I have to go in front of these people. And the dude was like, I'm going to try. Like, I'm going to keep asking until, how people be us asking those hard-hitting questions.
That's it.
So he's asking him and he was like, no, like, just not right now. Not right now. So anyway, so then we get into, it kind of flashes back to like his critics. So it's telling you all his success, how he had number one this year, number one that year, Medea selling out, millions and millions of people have seen it. But then his critics are getting on him about like how he's so like he's portraying these stereotypes for Black people, and he's in this drag suit, and he should be ashamed of himself. He should go to therapy for all the things that he's trying to work out on stage. Yes, it gets deep.
My gosh.
And what really got me was in the documentary, like it was showing him doing things like these things as producers do, but it was like the critics was kind of like talking while he was moving around. And I was just like, imagine that. Could you imagine like what you do, or just podcasting in general, and you're reading people having these deep thought processes about how you need to go to therapy. Kiana needs to go to therapy. I don't know what she's trying to work out. I don't know what kind of family issues she's having. But could you imagine, like, in your everyday job?
No, like what he said. Please don't. Don't do this. Okay, this is what we're not gonna do.
Right. So he's just like kind of going on and on about it. I mean, the background is going on. I'm just like, dang. And to be honest, I've never heard people go that hard on him.
Me neither. Yeah.
But I have heard, if I'm not lying, I have heard people kind of what is the word? Like saying like, oh, okay, so there's a different type of people. You got Black people that love Tyler Perry, like,
right.
Oh my gosh, I love Tyler Perry. I go see all the plays, I see this, I see that. And you got some Black people who are more educated and be like, I cannot stand him. It is not real art. Like it just portrays too many stereotypes, stuff like that. You have those two different Black people talking about it.
That's true.
But one thing that's consistent about it is that while everybody talking, he still get that money.
That's right. He's getting the bag. But just how they're saying that it's not art. I just hate that. Like, how can you tell somebody that something is not art? But me looking into it, I didn't know that the character Medea was based off like his mom and his aunt. And the situations that he went through, like the abusiveness, everything, like it makes sense.
Yes, it make everything make sense. Yes. So he talked about that. He was saying how they used to have like card games and stuff. You know, you used to bring your kids to the card games and they in the room going up and there, grown folks in here, you know. But he was saying how these people, I'm sorry, I'm trying to read at the same time. He was saying how these people, these women that get together from, you know, different aspects of life and just talk about their issues. And sometimes it'll get like really serious and somebody will talk about some man issue and they'll be ready to cry or whatever like that, or they will cry and then they will just kind of like comfort each other and, you know, encourage each other. And then someone to say something to make the group laugh. And then it's like, you know, laughter comes out. And that's, if you've ever been, have you ever been to a Tyler Perry play? Or seen one?
I've seen them like when they first came out. I kind of would have like the bootleg copy.
I was saying, did you have the real one or the bootleg? Because I
had bootleg copy. Yeah, when they first came out, we loved it. Like my whole family would just sit down and we would watch Medea. Like that's where it all started.
So I started out with bootlegs too. And then to be honest, no slide to Medea plays, but I skipped through all of the singing. I do not like, it was just too much. I mean, I'm trying to get to the meat of the movie. I don't need her in her solo. Great singing, great song selection.
Great singing.
Great, but I don't want to hear that. Like, I don't need no,
there used to be a lot of that. There was a lot of room in their head to say. Like, all right now. Must have been a lot of singing going on in the family.
Yes. And then like it's like she was like, he don't love me no more. And he don't love me no more. It was just, I mean, anyways. So then I got afforded. My friend invited me one time. I think we were really young. Her aunt went to a play and she brought me and my friend along.
Okay.
And it was interesting. It was okay. So the bootlegs was great. Yeah. The play was even better. Like I was like, oh my God, it was really nice. But it was the year before he took it to his first movie. So he came out on stage at the end and was like, hey, I'm producing my first movie. I think it was Diary of a Mad Black Woman. And it was just kind of like, everybody was like, oh my God, yeah. So I love the movies.
Yes.
But in the docu-series, it we kind of hopping around. So, but starting from the movies, I didn't know all this was going on in the background before the movie. So before the play started, he was trying to figure out what he wanted to do. And just like most people, he grew up in a church.
Right.
He was in a choir and he grew up in a church. Did not know this man was set to be a pastor. He went to seminary school.
What?
Yes, he sure did. Yes. He preached his first trial sermon. His, for our millions of viewers, who are not Black and want to know what a trial sermon is when you become a pastor and you have to preach your first sermon in front of everybody. So it's like you go to school, you get ready, and you get ready to preach your trial sermon. So he got ready to preach his trial sermon, got everything that he needed or whatever, and they was talking about I think his mom came on. No, his pastor came on and was like, right when he got ready to preach, he was like, hey y'all, so let me tell you what the Lord said. Like, it was very like comical. Like, it wasn't
serious. Hear Medea's voice for the whole sermon. That's all I'm imagining right now.
Like he was like trying to like make people laugh and and talking and everything. So,
oh my God.
So making people laugh. He was talking and everything. So the pastor, he said when he got done, the pastor came up and was basically like, God calls, he qualifies the call. And he was like, but you ain't called. He was basically said it.
It's not it for you.
Like, yeah, he gonna qualify you, if it's meant to be, but this ain't meant to be.
Hey, at least he kept it real. He kept it real. Because him saying that opened up more doors for him. Doing the stage plays, doing the movies and everything, all the writings. So at least he kept it a book. Let him know that this is not it. So he was able to move on to greater. So that was a blessing. because we didn't need him pastoring. We need you write these movies.
And to be honest, he kind of pastors already through
the movies and the characters. The characters, yes.
Yes. So yes, so he was, kind of like how we do. We try something, it doesn't work, you kind of crush. You just like, well, Lord, what am I gonna do now? What am I gonna do? And he kind of just goes back into default. Like he's been in the choir, he's been in church, church plays and different things. And what I didn't know is that in the 80s or the 70s, I think it's the 70s, in the 70s, President Reagan cut a lot of arts in the schools, like different art programs in the schools. So people defaulted to the church to do different plays and skits and singing because it was no longer offered in public schools.
Wow.
So that's where he got his plays, like learning how to participate in plays and make people laugh was through church.
Wow.
So
that right there, it's just because it's just so motivational because all that he has been through, and look at him, at the top, the top.
Oh, so backing up, let's go back since we talked about all that he's been through. He was in an abusive, household. His dad drank every day, beat him more than his sisters, primarily. All throughout his life, his dad kind of just treated him like bad. And everybody kept just wondering, like, why does he go so hard on Tyler? You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, his name was originally Emmett Perry Jr. He was named a junior. So,
where did Tyler come from?
So basically, when he became grown, he wanted to separate himself from his dad.
Oh.
So that's where Tyler Perry.
So he just, he said,
yes.
He was trying to have to do with you.
Exactly. It's crazy. Which, okay, we ain't gonna get to that part yet. That's a good part, but we'll hold out on that one. But yeah, his dad was abusive, and basically he used to hide in the back of the house. You know how old houses is kind of off the ground, so you can go under them,
go up underneath. Yeah,
he had his little space in the back of the house. Him and his cousin go back there and everything, and they'll play. But he could see inside of different people's houses. So he would use that time to view, kind of peep in people's houses and see different, it wouldn't be nothing strange, nothing, but it would be more of the living room, what all they had in their living room. Was it a TV? Was it pictures? And that taught him how to be detailed with trying to set stages, trying to get everything in the details of this goes here, this chair's here, different things. Yeah. Yep. It was very interesting. So one thing they talked about in the thing was this one time he was getting beat really, really bad. He was about 7 or 8. He was so bad. He had whelps and he was bloody on his back and everything. And his aunt stayed down the street. So the little boy, his cousin, ran home and was like Tyler, but I don't know if they call him in it or what at the time, but basically Tyler Perry, he's getting beat. He got these bruises, this and that. So, any auntie, she stepped up and was like, I'm going down there to see what's going on. So she going down there and she see his dad on the porch and she was like, why are you doing this to him? This and that. And he was like, mind your business. So next thing you know, she pulls out a gun and put it to the man's head. What? And just in the nick of time, her husband walks up and moves the gun, moves the gun. So it was how family is, you can see what's going on within your family, but it's only so much you can do.
Right. That's my gosh. She was about to take him down.
So
take him.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my goodness, when he was describing it, and they didn't show the aunt at first. I'm like, is she dead? Is he dead? I was like, Jesus. But I can only imagine you doing that to my niece or my nephew, and the mom, she's trying to, keep him off of them, but she's getting beat herself.
Right. It's only so much that she can do. They trying to stay alive. It's situations like that it's really tough. Once you in it, it's just kind of hard to get out. And auntie, she was trying.
And since we're talking about the women, so let's talk about his mom and, his relationship to his mom. So he never fought at his mom for the life he lived, for the abuse. He never fought his mom for anything because his mom was young. I think she was maybe 23, 24 when she's on her third child with him, which is him. And she didn't have no formal, education. And she was married to this man. And, back then women depended more on men than, I would say probably nowadays, we're a little more independent.
Right.
But he was saying how his mom categorized a good man as a good man is someone who pays the bills. And so she kind of lived by that, like, okay, I love this man, even though he's beating on me, but where else am I going to go with my 3 kids? It was no like resources or different like, ways of change, like elevating, you know what I'm saying?
Wow. Yep, that's how it was back in the day. Yep. You got you a nice, decent place to stay. Your man, he's paying all the bills. You don't really have to work. You stay at home, just taking care of the kids. But the con is you getting your ass beat every day. Woo! And that reminds me of that movie. Which movie was it? Tyler Perry movie with the sisters and the mom, she was married to someone, and then the sister, her daughter was getting ready to get married to someone that was whooping her, and the other sister, she wasn't going for it. She was the one that was trying to break the generation.
What was that movie? That was a movie, and the one where the girl was like, "What?" The girl was like, "You're gonna tell her. You're gonna tell her."
And then the mama back slaps her.
I know that's Liam Whitfield. Liam Whitfield be playing some.
Right, he's always playing the bad guy. Oh my God, I do not like him.
Family Reunion. Yes, that's it.
Yeah, Family Reunion, and it's crazy because what I'm getting from this is like all of the bits and pieces that have been, that he's gone through in his life. He's made each of these like it's a piece of what happened to his life in each of his movies.
Right.
Is what every movie is bits and pieces of it. But that's how it was. Family Reunion.
But it makes you think and wonder, like, because we always apply like our grandmas or our aunts and be like, oh, we need that old kind of love. We need that grandma and grandpa type of love. And it's like, do we really?
No, we don't. The hell we don't.
Do we really want that? Because grandma just stayed because she had nowhere else to go. So Papa was dogging her out.
Mm-hmm.
And she figured like, and it kind of makes you think like, what is a good man, because, and no shade, because some people are in hopeless situations where they have to rely on other people. But it makes you kind of wonder too. It's like, should I leave and I have nothing and my other 2 kids, all my 3 kids have nothing and I have no formal education, or how Tyler looked at it. He looked at it more as like she did what the best she had to do to provide for them. Yeah, it was abusive, but it was a family. And she was able to make it out, like, what I'm saying? She was able to raise her kids.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, goodness gracious. Lord. Times has definitely changed though. People, they're not, well, especially women, a lot of we're not going for it.
Oh, we're not.
No.
And I think nowadays we got way more resources. We got way more resources as far as like assistance and different things that can kind of keep those situations from happening. And sometimes I think we do go a little too hard with the independence, I don't need a man thing. But I think we have solved. We haven't solved. I'm not gonna say that because then domestic abuse still exists. Yeah. But I feel that some people feel that they have to stay because of their situation. And I feel like now more than ever, you don't. Like then, you might have to stick it out for a minute, but now you don't.
So I wonder a question. So with the domestic violence, with going on with his dad and his mom, did she make it out of that situation? Did she
no.
Get a pan of grits and was playing grip ball.
That was on his move. That was on one of the movies. No, she didn't, and that's what. So he was mentioning that he said he made plays and shows and different strips just to subconsciously let his mama know and let other women know, like, you don't have to stay, you don't have to be there, you don't have to. But he said no matter how much money, how much time, how many resources he threw at her, like, she never did leave. She really loved him, like deep down inside, past like the abuse and everything. Like, she loved him and she would not leave. So she, stayed with him till the day she died.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Lordy. So he was dropping the hints to her.
Like, yes, like
screenplays.
Yes. What? Yes,
wow.
like
I did not know that. Like, not hints. I just was thinking like, oh, okay, this is the situation that I've been through, and I'm gonna make this, a movie or screenplay. But I didn't know he was actually trying to drop hints to his mother.
He was just saying, like, yeah, like just indirectly, like, I want to make this play, but also too, like, this is a romance. Like, this is to let you know you are worthy, you are worth it, and you don't have to stay in situations that don't serve you.
That's it. And she chose to stay. Oh my gosh.
Yes. So back to the docuseries. So it's talking about after his first play and everything. Okay. Hold on one second. I have a toddler, you guys. So give me one brief second.
Hey, Ken.
Hey, Ken.
Hey, Kiki. Hey, girl.
Hi.
She's joining us on the live today.
Hold on one second, Tiana. You can talk to them real quick, and I'm gonna go check on something real quick.
Okay. Oh my gosh! Hey, y'all.
Hi.
Hey, who we got chimed in? Who we got on here? Let's see. Hey, Kahari. How are you?
Hey, doing good. How about you?
I'm doing good. I can't complain. Hey, is it Vivi?
Viv.
Vivi, how are you? Thank you for chiming on. Have y'all watched the documentary? Did y'all get a chance to check it out?
I haven't.
I didn't get a
Not
chance
yet.
to check it out. We got some
I gotta
people
sit down for it.
Right. It seems really, really good. We got
okay, I'm
Where do we leave off at?
Okay,
yeah,
so
she was dropping hints, and
yes,
she chose to stay until the day she died.
Right. So back to plays. So he was trying to plays out, and he was failing. He had this one play, and he just kept failing. He wasn't making any money off of it. He was just trying, and it was like nobody was there. And then he was getting to a point where he was getting depressed. He borrowed $300 off his mama's credit card to rent a van for this show one time, and nobody showed up. And his mama was yelling at him one time, and she was just like, how am I going to get this $300? You just need to give it up, this and that. And then he said in that moment, he was crying. Like, he was just so upset because his mama was basically saying, like, give it up. Like, stop what you're doing. And I think she caught herself because her back was turned to him. And then she turned around and seen he was crying. And she was like, I'm so sorry, basically apologized. She was like, I just want you to be able to support yourself. I just want you to be able to, get a regular job to, to be able to live, So he moved to Atlanta. He was in his Hyundai. He was living at his Hyundai, and he was still trying this play thing. And somebody finally said, after a couple of years, that, hey, we got this opening for this play. And he was like, I'm gonna do it. At first, he said he's not gonna do it anymore. He was like, I'm gonna do it one more time. Just do it one more time, and that'll be it. Like, we can move on from that. And he did it, and it sold out.
Oh wow!
And it sold out that whole weekend. Yes. So then he began to what you realize, Viv?
I don't want you to lose your train of thought. Okay, y'all. Y'all know how do I say this? Y'all know how we have a culture of thinking that moving to Atlanta is gonna solve all your problems. Tyler Perry was the pioneer. Hush, baby. He was the pioneer of moving to Atlanta is going to solve all your problems.
That's it. It
Why is that like that in our community? Like, as soon as something, you're like, you know what? I'm gonna just move to Atlanta or Houston. Like, Houston is the other one.
That's gonna become the pun in like any type of black anything. Like, it could be the worst possible case scenario. Like, imagine a modern day Job. Oh my God, I've lost it all. I just moved to Atlanta.
Just move to Atlanta, get my life together.
Y'all don't do that.
It's hilarious. Well, in this case, I mean, it worked for him because I mean, you might have to sleep in your car for a little minute, but hey, it's gonna come through. Something gonna line up.
That's it. Hustle, baby, hustle.
Okay.
I did it too, so that's all right.
Kiana and Tyler.
I did it. Look,
I ain't gonna lie,
y'all. Inspiration, but you know, Atlanta, I will say that it is full of like a lot of hustlers. Like that's why I like it. Like everybody's trying to get it, no matter how hard it is, because it is high. Cost of living is high. It's hard out here in the streets of Atlanta. But that's where the hustlers thrive. So
yeah,
I chose them.
It's either making you or breaking you.
Right.
I tried.
He made it.
Hold you. I would have been right along with them. I tried, but it was too many things that went wrong. God, like literally removed it where I couldn't do it.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, girl.
So Shantier said in the chat that Atlanta is the modern like Black Wall Street. Yes, and that was he mentioned that in the documentary too. That it was like it was so many different Black people pursuing very they had it was very prominent. And they had like really nice jobs, or they was really thriving in, let's just say, thriving in Atlanta versus what he said in New Orleans. So he felt like I just fit right on in with everybody else. You know, I can really make something of myself.
You know what she just asked a minute ago? She said, She said, "What's so funny?"
She wants to be in on the live. Don't tune her out. She
said, these kids, they just want to be included.
Hey, so beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having us, gracing us with your presence.
Thank you.
I love it.
So yeah.
Use that like as a little drop. Yeah.
She don't want you to slide her chick for using her drop. But yeah, so he moves to Atlanta and he starts doing his plays in like the chitlit circuit. So going to all these prominent Black areas, doing the plays and everything. That's when we started to get a lot of success. So he started getting success through his plays and just traveling to different places. So then he gets to his when his plays come across Lionsgate's CEO's desk, and it was like, what is this? Like, who is this Tyler Perry or whatever like that? So no one seemed to knew who he was, so they kind of left it where it was. The CEO met with this diverse group of different people and was kind of like, "Hey, have y'all heard of this guy named Tyler Perry?" And he said, everyone Black in the room raised their hand, like, "Yeah, I've heard of," but no one white knew who he was. Wow. And he was like, "Something's up. Like this man works keeps coming across my desk, and all the Black people know him, but and then no white people. Like, what is it? So a lot of people passed up, wanting to make his movie because they was like, who's gonna come and see? Like, where's your audience? Where's So he entered a deal with Lionsgate to do his first movie. It cost $5 million to make, and that was the Diary of a Mad Black Woman. He came in first week above like 2 or 3 different Lionsgate movies that first week, and he made $50 million off of that one movie.
Wow!
And it only took $5 million to make.
Wow!
And they were so confused because they was running. they was running data, and it was like, where is these people coming from? Like, people just don't come and see a random movie. Like, they have to know you. They have to know like what, like Fast and the Furious. Fast and the Furious, people go see Fast and the Furious movies,
That's it, yeah.
So they were just kind of wondering, like, who are these people? Like, where are they at? And they made it known that Hollywood doesn't cater movies to Black people, especially not like this audience of Black people.
That's true.
At the time. So then, or no. Anyways, Tyler he sees everything, and he sees and he touches the different
BB. She had a question.
Man, what's up?
Okay, this reminds me, when I was a kid, or pretty much most of my life until recently, I've just not refined myself. But Set It Off was my movie. Like, Set It Off was my movie, y'all. And
it's not many of those.
I remember telling my brother, like, oh my goodness, can you believe, like, first of all, the studio took a huge chance with that movie because it was coming from F. Gary Gray. And he was, like, very known for, music videos. But he had never done anything, like, on a larger scale. So I told my brother, I said, can you believe they only made this movie with like $9 million and they like quadrupled it? Like they grossed like 40, 50 million. And my brother, he was like, duh, that low budget movie. and you know what? My brother was just one of those people who just knew everything. So I was like, oh, you love to ruin a moment. But years later, I saw a documentary of them like making the movie, and it may have been a documentary about F. Gary Gray and not necessarily Set It Off. But that scene where Cleo was like driving that truck out of the bank, and she had to actually like bust through the window. They were saying how they could only shut down that street for like an hour. They could only bust that window one time.
What?
So they was like, girl, you better bust this. You better drive through this.
You better do this shit.
So when I saw that, I said, you know what? My brother was right, because they didn't have a lot of time and opportunity, but we know how to, make things do what it do.
Yeah. That's it. And that goes to show you too, they can take a little portion of something and be like, yeah, take this $5 million and go do whatever.
Right. We're gonna make it do whatever.
Meanwhile, Tyler got it down to a science now, baby, because they be shooting one movie, one show for like 2 days. Like they be like, we gonna pedal to the metal. Like he is pumping them things. They was doing, what was he doing? He said on there, episode a day.
Ooh.
It only takes about I guess a couple days or a week to make an episode, and they was doing one a day. And Oprah on the phone, she's like, you're doing one whole episode a day, Oprah just but it makes you wonder too. It's like, do they purposely only invest a little bit into our movies, just to say like, oh, we did give you something, it makes you wonder, like, what, because, and I'm not saying movies, but certain movies, it'd be like, this budget was $100 million. This budget was $30 million.
Let's talk about it. We have The Color Purple that's coming out in a few weeks. It's coming out. And what is that? A Steven Spielberg classic. And of course, they have always put money into that film. But then you get something, I don't even know what's comparable. Like I don't know a movie that could be adjacent to that. What's a comparable movie? I think Fences
The Color Purple.
Maybe
comparable to Color Purple.
Exactly, because they put the money into that movie.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
it's like Friday, but they want
Friday.
But during the press
Friday was made with $1,500.
During the press run for Fences,
I feel like Friday.
$1,500 budget. Well, shit, they made it do what it do. Friday and Friday after next.
Friday, like we'll give you $30,000 for this one.
done.
What was you saying, Bill? Oh, she must have got TT must got her. But yeah, it was talking about the how much it cost and how much they made. So then he's charting, he's making these movies, and it comes around to his TV show, House of Pains.
Yeah, House of Pains. Yeah.
And it was saying how he had this unique deal that he was working out with TBS. And he was saying, I'm going to fund the first 10 episodes out of my pocket, which never happens. First thing, they give you a couple episodes, and then they'll see how I do, and they give you a couple more episodes, and we'll see about season 2. We'll see, they'll kind of feed you these different episodes. But the overall goal then was to get to syndication, which is 100. Once you reach your 100 episode, you're in syndication. Basically, that means more money, more long-term money, So he said, I'm gonna fund the first 10 episodes out of my own pocket. If I do well with these first 10 episodes, the network has to agree for 90 episodes after that, which will automatically put him in a syndication. Which automatically puts him in that big money, long-term money, So this has never been heard of. People was like, you're not gonna get it. They're like, we'll give you 30, we'll give you this, we'll give you that. And he was like, no, I won't. I'm gonna do 10, you do 90.
Right.
So he was kind of shopping it around different networks. Yes, finally was just like, okay, we'll do it. And it was literally one of the biggest shows they had.
And still to this day, like I would watch that over and over and over, like reruns of House of Pain. It's just that good.
Was that the first time somebody had like a crackhead, like a functioning crackhead on like a show?
I don't know, but that's why I think Janine on there. Yeah, I don't know.
I can't see her with nothing but a crackhead now. I don't know. Like even she, she makes music too, and I just be seeing her.
What? She be singing? Okay.
You ain't heard that song? I ain't taking one of those best for me. Something. I forgot. Dang, what's the name of that song?
I ain't no.
Yeah, she makes music. Her name is Demetria McKinney. But she had a song. It was.
Oh, yeah. It sounds familiar. Her name. Now that you say her name, it does sound familiar.
I'm trying to think. What's it? I ain't something. She ain't no stuck up chick. Something.
Oh, so she wrote that?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Okay, let me see. Now I gotta go pull it up. But yeah, she does music, but I can't see her nothing but besides a crackhead. That's what my point I was making.
I know when they play a role so good, you just can't unsee it, especially when they play a role
here it
so
is.
good.
We're gonna speed towards it. Oh, here it is. Y'all never heard that?
I never heard it.
Okay,
but I definitely hear her. Yeah, I never heard it.
Yeah, it was a good song. I mean, I liked it. It was a little vibey. It was on one of my playlists. Spotify throw something in there randomly and be like, oh, this is the crackhead.
The crackhead.
That's that girl that look like Masika.
She getting down. But
yes, basically talked about that. It talked about Meet the Browns, which I actually forgot about that show until it showed me on there.
It's confusing because the same characters be playing in the same shows.
Baby,
I forgot about
how Perry rotates the people. If you he gonna throw you in one or two. He gonna be like, you over there, you go over there. Hey,
he got that. He got his old faithful crew now. I give him that. I forgot about Meet the Browns.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
No, you don't.
Move, you sure know that he
So it was talking about, I'm bouncing around, but it was talking about Madea, and it was talking about how Madea became a thing. So he was supposed to come on as Madea, like a quick little thing in Chicago, alongside this other woman, right? And basically, the lady didn't show up the day of the show. So Madea had to go out and do her lines as well as somebody else's lines. like Madea lines and the other lady lines. So it's kind of was like people was kind of confused because they was waiting on the other lady to be there. So it was kind of like a dud. And he was like, "What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?" So he woke up like the next morning, 4 in the morning, 5, I think it was like 4:30 in the morning, and he like called his the guy who was working with him and was like, "Let's fix this. Like, let's fix whatever's wrong." So they tweaked the lines. They got a couple more laughs. They tweaked the lines some more. Made it a little bit more comical. And that's when Madea became like the big star of everything.
Yeah. Gotta love Madea.
Yes, I thought it was interesting too, and it was talking about when I was talking about the critics earlier. Spike Lee was one of the critics of him, and he was saying how the church bus gonna roll up and gonna come to these shows, and we're gonna sit in front of the idiot box and watch this and this is and that, yada yada yada. And then it like fast like throughout the whole thing. The next he's at his grand opening of this big studio, and Spike Lee was like a visionary. He's a visionary. I was like, no, say what you said. Say what you said.
Yeah, Mr. Actors and a meal.
Keep the same energy. And then he had like a sound stage name after Spike Lee. So I was like, is he being petty or is he just like really like, oh, I'm a bigger person,
No, I ain't forget.
But yeah, it was very interesting. It was very interesting. But we talked about his mom, we talked about Madea, and it was just talking about the significance of Madea and like the grandma, the matriarch of the family, and how all of us, we all, for one, me personally, I was raised by my grandparents. I was raised, so I understand that motherly feeling of like that grandma, especially in our community. We know somebody who's either been raised, that stayed with their grandma,
right?
That he ain't, he finished school, but he trying to work some stuff out. You got the other kid that just got out of jail, and he can't stay with nobody else but Madea.
Right? Everybody has a Madea, right? I feel like everybody has a Madea.
My great grandmama name was actually Madea.
Really?
That's her name? Oh, I wonder, like, where does that come from? Like, where does Madea come from? Is it like a combination of mother?
They said it's
deer,
mother deer. It's a
mother deer. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Black people we tweak it, so it'd be like Madea. We don't throw
not mother deer, Madea. The little twang, something twang to it.
Right.
Everybody got a Madea.
But it's that one person in your family, whether it's an aunt, whether it's a great aunt, whether it's a grandma, they are there for that person. They are there. If their house is open now, they may be spiritual, they may not be. They may have a little, a past or whatever like that, like similar to Madea, or they may just be holy, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost. But, we all can connect to that mother, grandmother, that maternal feeling of somebody in our family, or we know someone of, and, that was just interesting. And I'm not gonna keep y'all long. I got a couple more points and we are done. And feel free to ask some questions or just come on, like Vib, come on, just come on, talk to us.
Well, with the whole the documentary, like I didn't get a chance to watch all of it, but I was gonna say, what was your favorite part of it, Kiera? Of the movie?
So my favorite part when he was talking about his mom and he was just saying how like it was like little very intimate stories about how like when he was small and they seen this Jaguar going down the street and she was like, oh, that's a nice Jaguar. And he was like, I get some money, I'm gonna give you, the Jaguar. And he actually bought the Jaguar. They showed it and everything. It was really nice.
Aww.
It was really touching. What I thought was funny too, and me, he was talking about how him and his friend, they'll be splitting like a burger, like to eat. Because they didn't have that much money. So they would split the burger. And he was like, yeah, man, I can't wait till, I make it big and I get this money. I can, do this and that. And his friend was just kind of like, what? And it's like, I haven't made it into my split a burger, but talk about millions era. And I'm just waiting on the, that moment to just, manifest in my life. Like, how can I split a burger and be like,
you know what?
And be like, yeah, man, but in about 10 years though, I'm gonna be a billionaire. It's like,
yeah,
I feel like my friends around me will be like, girl,
I got you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go to McDonald's and get a little dollar burger, and we're gonna split that burger.
Did you hear Tegan? Tegan said that's crazy. But no, that's definitely me. I've accepted the role. I've accepted the role as the delusional friend, and it be so far fetched, but I be knowing, and people like, girl, what?
You gotta keep you a delulu around you. You got to.
I be super delusional.
You gotta have at least one delusional
Or
friend.
what do they call it? Crazy faith.
Yes. Okay, Pastor Mike Todd. Just be delusional for the Lord. That's all that is. But yes, like you have to have that little bit of delusion around you to be able to succeed for real. Like
that's it.
It was interesting. What was so far in what you've been hearing? What is something that has inspired you, or something that has caught your attention, Kiana?
Well, honestly, just everything that he's been through overall. Because some people will go through situations like that, and it can either make you or break you. And he chose to persevere through all of it. And even when your parents, like the situation with his mom, lending him the money, and your plans with that not working out, and I know my parents are real old school, so after that they would have been like, that's it, you go get you a job, we're not gonna do this, you know what I'm saying? Like, and for her to still have faith in him, she was upset, but she still had faith in him, and just to keep going after that. Because when my parents say something, like, they have a lot of influence, so when they're not feeling it, that can tear you down as well. But the fact that he still went through with everything, like, that's so motivational for me to not give up on my vision that I have. So, and I haven't even went through like half as much ish that he's going through. So it's like, wow, like, it's really no excuse.
Mm-hmm.
Someone like him to go through all that, and look at him now.
Mm-hmm.
Look at him now. So it's just more so motivational for me.
So both of y'all, have y'all ever felt something inside of you that you don't really know, but it's kind of like this unknown knowing that I need to pursue something besides like
is this a loaded question?
That you need to pursue something inside of you, but for some reason it just won't let you give up on this thing. Like, have y'all ever felt like with him it was this play or just like screenwriting? It was like no matter how low he got, even when he wanted to give up, it's like he didn't.
I feel like, and I'm glad that Kiana, you just discussed that part, because that's one thing that stuck out to me. Was I feel like, as we're children, or as we're growing up, we hear people say, or we're told and taught, like, oh, you have to believe in yourself, you have to believe in yourself, you have to believe in yourself. But, and that's another thing I was thinking about earlier, Kira, when you had originally introduced his mom and her $300. I kind of feel like, as Black folks, our parents be like, hang it up, baby, hang it up. And they have a really impactful influence on us.
They do.
So, but I'm literally just learning. I just turned 28 a couple months ago, and I'm just learning, like, there's no telling what people could actually do or have an impact on if they actually just stay at something. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. No one is. Yeah, we have people who are naturally talented, but no one just wakes up and is automatically that star, or what we perceive as that star, or that star persona that they have. They put in so much work behind the scenes, and that's what we don't see. And it sounds so cliche, but when you're actively trying to do something, or pick up a project, or start a business, or just start something new, of course you want to quit, but you can't really see the possibility, because of how things look. Like, you really have to be faithful. You can't really take things at a face value. But I feel like now as an adult, I'm learning that you really can't listen to other people, even those who do love you and care about you, because they're gonna say, baby,
Yeah.
hang it up. Now I know that my whole entire life, I kind of feel like I've always been that person where it's delusion or crazy faith, as we just called it. Because I feel like I had a mother much like his mother, where like my mom definitely would have been like, because I just
Right.
hit 300. I would have never lived down at $300. Like to this
Baby,
day,
no.
it would have been
Mom,
like a thought.
like, what you need it for?
For,
What you
no,
need
for
the money for?
real.
She's gonna be on her deathbed and
You
she's
better
gonna
not
be
be.
like, make sure Kiara finally pay that bill for that $300. And just like,
For real.
Oh, snap.
Seriously. Like, can't you? Some things you just can't live down with black folks for some odd reason. So, I kind of feel like that is extremely that's extremely discouraging. Like,
Right.
Kiara, I've sent you some of like, cause I write or I try to. It's just so difficult with like things, life challenges, not making things a priority. Y'all know how it is when you start something. So
Yeah.
I remember like years ago when I had to be like in high school. So like I had to be like 14. My brother was probably like 16, and we had wrote this play, and it was really great. We knew who we wanted in it. We knew how much money we could make. Like we had it planned out. We were literally
Wow.
just kids, and I found that notebook recently, and I was like, you know what? We was
Oh,
truly
wow.
on to something. We was on to something. So like I don't know. I kind of feel like God continues to like present things and represent things and represent things. But
All
Kiera, what I
right.
was saying, that thing that I sent you that I was writing about, my mom isn't like a typical mother. She's never been like a typical like nurturing, encouraging mother. But I remember I had spoke to her about it like years ago, like, oh, this is what I want to write about. I feel like this is cool. I haven't read this and I haven't heard anyone tell this narrative, tell this story before. But also not from like a black perspective. Like we are so limited when it comes to literature, arts, performative arts, and it's sad because so much time has passed. Like we're going into 2024, and it seems like we are still so limited. And she was like, "Oh, that is so." She's like, "That's so cliche." I feel like we've seen that before. Couldn't tell me where it's been seen before, but I was like, you know what? You might be right.
No.
And it took me years. Literally, it took me probably like 2 years to actually start writing what I was thinking about. So I feel like it is important to really not put any value, which it sounds kind of weird because you need the value of others' opinion, because
Right.
that's why, you know what I'm saying. But at the same time, you can't really place too much value on it because you're the only person that God has given that vision or
That's
given that
it.
dream to. Like you're the only
Absolutely.
person that has received that information. Like of course, like when anyone is building anything, even if it's a sandcastle, no one else is gonna know what that is supposed to look like but you.
But
So
you.
that is like extremely important, but I don't feel like we can express that to like our youth or our children enough. um
That's it.
but I hear about people, and it really makes me sad. But I hear about people who are like, I kept trying, and it cost this much, and it cost this much, and it cost this much, and my parents kept helping me, and they kept helping me, and they kept helping me, and they made this sacrifice. And I'm like, man, my mama wasn't gonna make no sacrifice.
Telling you, you got one time. Let me stop.
That roof over my head was the sacrifice.
Oh my gosh. I'm
No,
telling
that's serious. Kiana, did you have what you was I forgot my question. It was what's something that have you ever experienced something that you can't give up no matter how hard you try and no matter how many sacrifices you make?
I remember when I was younger, I had this thing. I mean, I still kind of want to do it to this day. Like I've been kind of big on, like I've been interested in doing like acting. You know, when I was younger,
Please
modeling.
share. Welcome to the Lulu room.
I did want to do modeling, and I remember when I was in college, I was doing this contest or whatever, and I actually placed in it. And I was telling my mom about it, and she was just like, "Kiana, you need to be realistic. Like, come on, that's not going to pay the bills." Like, and just kind of really just shut me down, and I never really kind of really explored into it anymore. But it's still kind of that little voice inside me that's like, you need to do it, because it's something that I think about every day. But it's just kind of hard because like now being a mom and everything and moving and just trying to navigate my way to that, now it's going to take me a lot longer to do it. But yeah, I still kind of have that little buzz in me right now to this day, like, you need to do it, but it's just like a matter of when. That's the thing. Because I kind of phased her out. It's like, because my folks, like, they're really, really old school. Like, they're afraid to try different things. Like, my mom, she's had this one job for like 23, 25 years. Like, she's not doing nothing, exploring nothing outside of that. And kind of same thing with my dad. Like, they're just like, get you a job, make decent money, and that's it. And it's just like, I don't think I was designed to be that way. Like, to just be paying. And right, and I won't. It's like I wasn't built to just be paying bills and die. Like, no, like, we all have a purpose, and it's like I'm still itching trying to get to my purpose, but I don't phase them out because they is how they is. Like, so yeah.
Yo, I'm sorry.
Now, I'm about to say, year 2024 is the year of unrealistic, delusional dreams. Like,
I love it. That's it, for real.
We do it. Like, we doing the most ridiculous, unrealistic stuff all year 2024. Like, Kiana, you want to model? Yeah, we're gonna set you up some headshots. We're gonna get you together. Like, we're gonna just do random stuff. Just build. Yes, we're going to a writer's retreat. We're gonna go ahead and get that, and we're gonna make this play from you and your brother. We're gonna make it come alive. Now, it could be me, you, in the audience, but unrealistic, crazy faith, thing.
I love it. That's it. That's the motto.
I was gonna say, I know that my mom, even though I don't agree, but I just know that she was always just like sick of me because I went to a performing arts magnet school. So like everyone in my family is kind of like outspoken, and I was like very shy. And her solution to this was not to put me in therapy, like I probably needed, but to put me in a performing arts school. So everyone in a performing arts school is delusional, bro. Like, everyone is delusional. Every single person is delusional. Every single person thinks that they're going to Hollywood and Broadway, and that like, and it'd be crazy competitive too. Like, it's a whole different world. Like, it's really disgusting. And the reason I say that is because I had to be like in 4th grade, and they were like crazy, like, oh, she thinks that she's gonna outdance me today, and they'll like throw someone ballet shoes away. Like, it was really wild. Like, for real, it was
in 4th grade.
Yeah, like it was a dog eat dog world. So like, I was like, dang, man, I gotta get out of here. Like, not out of the school, but I was like, I need to go to some auditions. Like, we gotta see what this public school, magnet school, done did for us. Like, I'm finna get us out the hood, bro. And I got what it takes. Like, give me some acting classes. Let's do these headshots. Shuffle me to Hollywood. I could really be like the next Raven Simone. Like, I think I got this. Never happened. Never happened. But I was always just like, there's no way that this is live. Like, there's no way. Like, every single day, this is what we're gonna do. And they not even doing nothing on Disney Channel. Like, Hilary Duff does the same thing every single day. Like, come on now. Let's be for real.
Yes. Oh man, that's hilarious. I think my people are the same way. Like, and I love them, but I think it comes from a place of like, I don't know, like, how different generations just dream a little bit bigger than they've ever dreamed before. And it's like, this is what worked for me. So let me put you on a path. So if nothing else works, this works right here. And like, even like with my dad, like, I love him to death, but he's more of like actual factual. Like we can talk about retirement, we can talk about 401k, we can talk about stocks, investments, how to make sure this and a job. We can talk about that all day long. He can pour into that. But then I'm gonna go to my mom and she'll be like, okay, let's do that. Like she's more of a dreamer, but it comes from a place of like, hey, I wasn't able to dream. I wasn't able to do this thing. So I'm gonna support you in whatever you choose. And like, that Delulu kind of land and be like, Mama, I'm thinking about going to the moon Tuesday. And she'll be like, let's load up the Tahoe. Like, let's do it. Like, where I need to drop you off at, like that kind of thing. So but yeah.
Oh, y'all know what? I had said this some months ago. I was like, Tyler Perry trying to buy BET. He needs to buy Tubi. Like,
right.
So I
because
I think that Fox just purchased Tubi recently, but I'm like, it don't matter. He could have bought Tubi and really turned it around for real.
Baby,
he really could have.
I feel like there's so much value in it. I hate the I don't know the word for it. I guess like the talk around Tubi being like low budget. But it just shows like the value that we put into our own things. Like it could be the same movie that's on Netflix and y'all are gonna flock to it. Like y'all do understand that this is our Black art. This is our Black film. Like these are actual Black creators that went out of their way to make something happen, and it's being distributed on a major distribution platform. Like
I'm gonna put some. Okay, so I was the one to be like, I'm never watching Tubi. That I don't like that. This is and that. And then my man put me on one of these Tubi movies, and I was like, this is horrible. This trash. This just trash. I don't like this. I think it was if I can't or if he can't. It was something like that. Until the end of the movie, and I was like, that was crazy. Like I don't want to watch that. And then I realized that the girl who played in it, because she wasn't a good actor.
She wrote it.
And she acted in it. And to me, I just got so much respect for her because it's like, you wrote this.
Yep.
You
acted and she's young.
Yep. And she's young. And I said, I'm so sorry. Like I had to renege on my words because I was like, no.
I think she's from Detroit also.
Yeah, she's from Detroit. Yeah. Mina.
Yeah, Mina Monroe. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just like, okay, Kier, like back it up because it is young Black filmmakers really getting their stuff out there. And to be honest,
I was gonna say they don't have like I get what you're saying about it because I watched that movie and out of all the Tubi movies I watched, I think that one was most captivating because I'm like, this is one person who has written this movie, starred in it, and she's probably directing it and producing it. Right. And I'm a one person, and I do have responsibilities to my family, but I can't imagine. You get what I'm saying? Like, you went out of your way to do this when this is not of the norm. Like everyone else is doing something else, and here you are trying to make a movie. And you're from Detroit. Like, who is supporting you? Who is encouraging you? And how are you being helped? You know what I'm saying? Right. So I felt like I had so much more respect for her and other creators. I'm gonna be honest. That movie is the movie that made me really look at Tubi very differently and look at those creators very differently and see them as creators. Because we joke about the quality and we joke about the things, but imagine if they were backed by a major studio or anyone really, if they had a real budget behind them. Right. They're doing what they can do, but they are still creators. Like, please give them the flowers because there's so many other things that they could be doing, but also the things could not be created at all due to the lack of support and the negative connotations behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
That's exactly. Oh, that's another thing. I'm sorry, y'all, but I literally thought about this yesterday. When we were watching Lifetime movies, we always knew they were horrible. It's like the typical, and they love to say, what do they say? Lifetime hates women. And we all know that was like a white woman cry. They don't have nothing else to cry about. Lifetime hates women. We're always being killed and abused on national.
I thought they hated men.
Or is there another? Oh, or maybe so. Is there any other narrative? And like that's what that was their Tubi. Lifetime was
Yeah.
the folks Tubi.
Sure was.
Everybody supported it. Everyone supported it.
Oh my gosh, sure
Yeah.
was. But yeah, you're right. Doing it, that's a lot. You never know. They be the next Tyler Perry's, because I mean that's what he does. You know, he plays scenes in his movies. You know, writes them everything. But like you said, if they had a bigger budget, you don't know what they could do. Like this is the start of everything. So yeah, get them their flowers. Cause that is a lot. They were just shooting a Tubi movie, not right in front of my job, a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm.
In front of your job.
You know, I work in East Atlanta, and they were we were like, what are y'all doing? And they was like, oh, we should work for 2 years. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Go on, do y'all thing. Like, they was doing it. They was out there for days and days, but they got it done. They even came in and got a little hair and stuff. Came in person to the wigs, you know. Shout out to them.
Yes.
Shout out to the creators, because creating is not easy.
It's not.
It's not. You know.
I was gonna say, Mina Monroe has another movie. I saw like a TikTok review of it, and it's called 3 Keys. When I tell y'all, I was so passionate about this movie. I didn't finish it, but I was so passionate about it. So they were saying it's so low budget. The acting is horrible. It's a comedy and it's horrible. So I'm watching it. I'm like, let me see what it's about. And I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I've always been a funny person, class clown, comedian, all these things. If someone makes me laugh, you're funny. And I know you are because I'm funny. And you have to be witty. Like you have to have some type of intellect for some things to be funny. Yeah. Y'all, this movie was genuinely hilarious. It was genuinely like great writing. It was intentional writing. And I said what really blows me is this could honestly be seen as like a modern day Friday. I've never seen a movie that I could relate to Friday in the sense of like the comedy, the actual plot, the narrative, the actors. It gives Friday, except maybe from like a woman's perspective, because there's more of like a women's cast, and men are more so like the supporting actors. But I was like, why are we so hard on ourselves and on our people? But these things that are cult classics to us, they wouldn't be cult classics if people were so hard on them. Like if people were hard on Friday and like don't be a menace to society and even Set It Off, like, because Set It Off is considered like kind of like an action thriller. If we were that hard on those movies, we would never be where we are now.
Right.
That's it.
I think we are a little bit more critical these days on our movies and everything. But yeah, that's our next show. We said 3 Keys. We're gonna watch that.
Okay, I'm gonna watch that.
We're gonna review it on the podcast. This is gonna be our next topic.
Okay.
I like 3 Keys. Okay.
I need to go watch it now. It's good.
I'm gonna check it out. So where can we watch that one at? Is that one on Tubi? Tubi? Okay.
Yeah. I'm becoming a Tubi advocate. This is crazy.
Yes, put it
I'm a Tubi influencer.
But yeah, we ain't gonna hold you too long. It's been an hour. We're gonna post this and it's gonna be on our thing. Thank you guys for stepping in and talking and being in the chat. Thank you, Kahari, Vivian, Tegan, and just other people. Shantier was here. My cousin Dale was here. A couple people, and the other millions that were watching. Thank you all.
That's
it. We're gonna be delusional all 2024. So go ahead and get the vision boards out. Let's go ahead.
Yes. I'm so excited.
I got my magazines ready.
Me too. Yeah. I've been saving them, so I'm ready.
But yeah, thank y'all for listening. Follow us on all the social medias, Underground Queens with a Z.
Yes.
What else we got coming on, Kiana? Any church announcements?
Any church? No, but just check out the latest episode that just dropped. We did drop our anniversary episode that just dropped the other day. So subscribe. Let us know how you like the podcast. And you know what? Until next time. You are
100% that queen.
And 100% that king. Bye.
Thank y'all. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.